Welcome to Rapid Responses 14. I'm Paul Diaspara, and I'm excited that you're here. Quick announcement before we jump in. We are officially launching a new platform for Crown Refs called Substack, and our publication is titled The Crown Refs Playbook. For the last 7 years, we've sent out a weekly newsletter, and we're grateful for everyone who's been reading along, but we are pivoting because we want to give you even more value than just a weekly recap. So going forward, you're going to get weekly articles and an original series that organizes the best Crown Refs content into written, easy-to-reference form. Ideas that you can save, revisit, and apply. Substack has really exploded in popularity lately, and the app experience is awesome. It makes it easy to read, save, and stay connected in one place. And it feels like the perfect time for us to make this move and build something bigger for the officiating community. The link is in this description, and if you've already been on our email list, you'll still receive the articles there as well. And to kick off the very first article, we're starting with this topic: Rapid Responses, the heavy-duty tool set for stronger coach communication. All right, let's get into it.
Thank you for listening to the Crown Refs Podcast, the audio experience for basketball officials. Serve the game.
Now we're going to get into some Rapid Responses. Rapid Responses is one of the longest running podcast series that we have on Crown Refs. I believe there's over 16 episodes where we really detail and do a deep dive into coach communication and effective game management. It covers everything from quick hitters, one-liners, to things to say that'll de-escalate a coach, important messages of sportsmanship and firm responses. It covers the full toolbox, and it's really the playbook on how to effectively respond to a coach. When we say rapid response, we're not just talking about a quick line to say to the coach. This is a complete game management system and playbook. This series breaks down our entire approach to coach communication, from best practices, how to deliver a rule-based explanation, how to use de-escalating language that dissolves tension and keeps the game moving, all the way to how to deliver a firm, decisive response that establishes clear communication standards and sets the expectation for respect. This is a critical part of our officiating, and it's our responsibility to the game not to overlook or bypass this. We've built a full, intentional catalog that serves as the how-to guide for responding to coaches. Quite simply, this level of education does not exist anywhere else on the internet for basketball officials. So if this is an area of the game that you struggle with, ask yourself, why continue to struggle with this? Dive into the Crown Refs Rapid Response content, start applying it. You're going to feel the growth, you're going to feel the confidence, and you'll begin to develop into a tactical communicator and someone who can handle any coach in any game, anywhere.
You saw him grab my guy's arm. How is that not a foul?
Coach, straight up, all ball.
Straight up? He's hanging on him like a backpack.
Here's another partnering and game management tip. If your partner is ready to inbound the ball and proceed with the game, we should not be allowing a conversation with the coach to continue. And we especially shouldn't be having that conversation with our back turned to the players. Unless you're delivering a sportsmanship-related message to the coach, meaning you're running the game in that moment, we can't allow a coach to hold up a game while they're venting or expressing frustration about a previous play. When we do that, we're showing the entire gym that the coach's complaint is more important than the game itself. And remember, nobody comes before the game. Not the officials, not the players, not the coaches. The game is the top priority. This is a situation that I saw recently, and I know many of you have seen it too. Maybe you've even caught yourself in it before. So hopefully this video serves as a reminder to run the game, keep it moving, and stay focused on what matters most. Here's a rapid response the next time a coach shouts at you or demands an explanation. Say this: I don't respond to that volume. I'm more than happy to have a conversation about the play, but it needs to be done in a respectful manner. Is that fair? That one statement does 3 powerful things. First, it sets a clear boundary, calmly, without escalating. You're not arguing with the coach, you're defining how communication will happen. Second, it opens the door to cooperation instead of conflict. You're not shutting the coach down, you're giving them a path to be heard. Third, it puts the choice back on the coach. Lower the volume and communicate respectfully, or don't. The key here is delivery. Say it in a normal voice, calm tone, but with a strong presence. Most of the time, this line lowers the temperature and immediately resets the interaction. And if it doesn't, you've clearly established those communication guidelines. So the next time things get heated, let this rapid response do the heavy lifting for you. I don't respond to that volume. RefereeStore.com, a longtime supporter of the Crown Refs podcast. They've been backing basketball officials for years, and we're proud to partner with them since 2019. Make sure you use our exclusive 10% discount code available to all basketball officials through Crown Refs. Go to refereestore.com/basketball. Use discount code CRW10 at checkout. Final message. If you're interested in partnering with Crown Refs, reach out to me directly at crownrefs@gmail.com and let's talk collaboration. All right, here's a 4-step approach to help you better manage coach behavior and bench decorum. Step 1. Awareness and timeline. You must have a strong awareness of coach behavior and maintain mental timeline of the interactions. For example, at 17:38, you should know that the coach threw his arms up signaling travel. You should know at 14:22, the coach shouted, "That's a foul," after your partner's no call. Those moments matter, so remembering the timeline helps you contextualize behavior and prepares you for the next step, which is number 2, initiating the interaction. Once a pattern develops, and for me a pattern is twice, you need to have the confidence to initiate the interaction. Timing is critical. The best opportunities are dead balls, free throws, and the best option is immediately following a timeout once the team has broken the huddle. That moment is when a coach is most receptive to hearing your message. Step 3, what do you say and how do you say it? Now comes the most important part, your words and delivery. This is where step 1 matters. Your communication should be tied to the history of the game. For example, "Coach, we're very approachable, but shouting travel across the court isn't a respectful way to communicate. Now that I have an opportunity to answer, I would be happy to answer any questions. Just please don't shout across the court at us. Is that fair?" Now this message is clear, firm, respectful, and contextual. Step 4, consistency and follow through. The final step is continuing to monitor bench decorum. Your actions must match your word. Know when it's time to stop using a rapid response and start using the rule book, whether that's a warning or a technical foul. To recap the 4 steps, number 1, awareness and timeline. Number 2, initiating the interaction. Number 3, delivering a contextual rapid response. And number 4, consistency and follow through. Master these 4 steps and your game management will improve dramatically. Here are 3 words you can start your next rapid response with, especially if you're not sure what to say. I would never. I would never. Anytime a coach's behavior crosses that line, start there and fill in the blank based on that situation. For example, "Coach, I would never shout at you from across the court. I would never criticize your assistant coaches. I would never disrespect your players. Coach, I would never wave my arms at you while speaking." This approach is powerful. Why? Because it immediately sets a professional standard without attack. You're not accusing, you're not escalating, you're holding the coach to the same respect you're giving them. It also shifts the conversation away from emotion and back to behavior. And once behavior is the focus, control returns to the officials. This "I would never" approach is a proven way to gain control of the bench, reset expectations, and manage the coach behavior calmly and effectively. So the next time you feel stuck, remember these 3 words, "I would never," and let the rapid response do the work for you. I want to share an underrated rapid response from Crown Refs community member Nate Sullivan. Coach asked him, "Did you hear that slap?" Nate responded with, "Coach, I can't referee off sound. I need to see the contact, so I'm not out here guessing." That response is money, and here's why it's effective. First, it's a rule, principle-based, non-emotional response. Second, it enforces the officials officiate what they see, not what they hear. And third, it shuts down the door on guessing, which immediately is going to build your credibility. Nate shared this line, and it's been a conversation ender every time. In his most recent game, the coach simply said, "Good point," and that interaction was over. That's exactly what a great rapid response does. It's calm, it's clear, it ends the conversation and gets back to the game. Appreciate you sharing that one, Nate. That's a keeper. You've probably heard this, but words matter, especially when you're communicating with coaches. So here's how small language changes can maintain poise, build credibility, and keep conversations more productive. Instead of saying, "It's not my area," say, "I had an engaged matchup in my primary, so I wasn't looking in that area." Instead of saying, "That's not my call," say, "I'm going to trust my partner on that play." Instead of saying, "I didn't see it," which is one of the worst things to say, you could say, "From my angle, I didn't have an open look on that play, and I didn't want to guess." That one works well. Instead of saying, "I don't know," say, "I'm not 100% certain." Instead of saying, "Watch the film," say, "I appreciate your perspective," What did you see? Instead of saying, I got the call right, you can say, I feel good about this decision, but I could be wrong. Coaches love to hear when you say you're wrong. Instead of saying calm down, which works to no one ever, you could say, I'll hear you, I'll listen, but let's keep it respectful. Instead of saying, you're wrong, coach, you could say, you could be right. That line works well. You could be right. If you don't know what to say, I hear you, coach. You could be right. Here's the takeaway. These responses don't weaken your authority. They strengthen it. They show awareness, confidence, and humility. They keep the conversation about basketball, not ego. Strong officials don't win arguments. They manage people. They protect the game, and they build trust one interaction at a time. Choose your words wisely. This video is for officials who have coach friends. Most of us come from a sports background, and a lot of us are friends with coaches. That's normal. We understand that. But this is about learning to separate personal from professional. Here's the issue, and it's probably happened to you, and it's definitely happened to me. When you referee a friend, it's easy to get caught in the friend zone during the game. And when that happens, it can quietly hold you back from managing that coach the same way you would if you didn't know them. I recently broke down one of my mentees' games on film, and he was good buddies with one of the coaches. They talked after the game, they chatted about some plays, all normal stuff. But when I watched the film, I saw something important. That coach was arguing calls with his partner and then turning to his friend and saying, hey, you got to help your partner out. What is he calling? That's where the problem shows up. When you're stuck in the friend zone, it becomes much harder to respond. You hesitate. You ignore things you normally wouldn't ignore. And you start bypassing unsporting behavior that you would address with any other coach. And the irony is, that actually hurts you and the relationship. So here's the recommendation. If you're going to referee a friend, have a conversation off the court before the game, maybe the day before the game or earlier that season, to set those professional expectations clearly and early. Because if you don't, it will work against you and the crew and can even damage your friendship. So remember, don't get stuck in the friend zone on the court. Because the only thing worse than being stuck in the friend zone in life is being friend zoned with a whistle in your hand. By the way, if you're using a whistle, make sure you use the Crown Refs whistle, now available in our TikTok shop. Or email me directly to place your order. Here's a quick pregame and game management tool for when a situation gets too hot and you feel control slipping. Send teams to their bench. Send teams to their bench.
Send the teams to their bench.
This is a great tool to mention in the pregame so all the partners are on the same page and ready to respond instantly. Anytime a member of the crew should feel empowered to signal teams to their bench when it's necessary. Here are some great moments when to use it. After a flagrant or intentional foul, with a reaction from opponents or the player who was fouled. Act immediately when you feel the temperature rise in the situation. Another time to use it is during trash talk in a dead ball, especially if there's multiple opponents involved. If you see more than two players trash talking, send the teams to their bench. Another example is during a layered play. So we could have a technical foul plus a common foul, technical foul plus an intentional foul. This would be a great time to send teams to the bench. We're going to need a little extra time to discuss the adjudication of this play. Another great time to send teams to their bench is when two opponents push each other during the dead ball. I think this is a very powerful tool to be able to regain control of the game when safety or sportsmanship is being jeopardized. Sending teams to their bench creates time and space. Time for the coaches to manage their players, space between the opponents, time for officials to slow down, communicate, and properly adjudicate the play. These situations are often complex, so take your time, don't rush the ruling. So remember to add this to your next pregame and be ready to act upon it when it's go time. Here's another rapid response the next time a coach uses exaggerated language like hammered, crushed, hacked, or killed. Say this, coach, I'm willing to discuss a play with you, but only if we're using appropriate language. Pause, then move on. That line does exactly what it needs to do. Now, here's another rapid response in that situation. Coach, those words don't help us communicate. If you have a question about a specific play, I'm happy to talk. Here's why this is effective. It removes the emotion from the conversation. Words like hammered and killed are emotional exaggerations. By addressing that language, you strip the moment of that drama and bring it back to basketball. Number two, it sets the communication standard, not the debate. You're not arguing whether it was a foul, you're defining how conversations will happen. And third, it forces clarity or ends the exchange. Once you require appropriate language, One of two things happens. The coach resets and communicates properly, or the conversation ends and the game moves on. Two outcomes that we like. This is what rapid responses are meant to do. They don't escalate. They don't entertain exaggeration. They calmly redirect the behavior and protect the game and the crew. Use them early, deliver them calmly, and let the rapid response do the heavy lifting for you. If you ever find yourself stuck when a coach is talking, unsure what to say, unsure how to respond, or overwhelmed by a coach referencing multiple plays at once, here's the solution. Go narrow. Coaches will often speak in generalities. Ref, that's a foul all night. You're missing everything on that end. We're getting no calls on this end. General comments lead nowhere. One of the greatest strengths an official can develop as a communicator is the ability to redirect the conversation to something specific. Try this. I hear you, coach. Do you have a specific play you'd like to discuss? ... That one question changes everything. Here's why it works. When you ask for a specific play, you move the conversation from emotion to clarity. You take it out of opinion and put it into the rule, where officials have the leverage. Many times, coaches won't actually have a specific play in mind, and when that happens, the conversation naturally ends and the game moves on. If they do have a play, now you're in control. You can articulate what you had, reference the rule, and close the exchange professionally. So remember this principle. When coaches go broad, you go narrow. That's where your leverage lives. For more rapid responses and deeper game management education, visit patreon.com/crownrefs. I want to show you an example that shows the power and purpose of a rapid response. Recently, I worked a game where a coach was shouting at my partners multiple times, arguing calls throughout the game. Now, I hadn't interacted with that coach yet, but we did speak about the coach's behavior at halftime, and it was something that the crew was aware of. Then in the third quarter, he did the same thing to me. He shouted his opinion of the play at me while I was crossing his bench area. So I immediately responded with, "Please stop shouting at me. That's not a respectful way to communicate." Instantly, his tone changed. He lowered his voice. He said, "You're right. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have shouted at you." That is a much better place to have a conversation with the coach. That only happens once respect has been clearly established. Here's what happened next, and this is important. At the very next time out, my partner came over to me and asked, "What did you say to that coach?" Moments later, the coach apologized and said, "Hey, tell your partner I'm sorry. I normally don't shout, and I got out of character there." And guess what? We didn't have another interaction with that coach the rest of the game, as he just focused on coaching his players and his role in the game. That's the power of a rapid response. Not confrontation, not escalation, just a clear boundary delivered calmly and confidently. Most coaches aren't trying to fight you. They're just testing you to see where your line is. They want to see how far they can go, what they can get away with, and if you're going to stop them from doing it. Once you define the line, most of them adjust. The key is having the courage and confidence to deliver that response. Now here's the reflection piece, and this is why this matters. We probably waited too long in that game. Had we addressed it earlier, we likely wouldn't have had any of those other negative interactions throughout the game. So that's the lesson here. Deliver your rapid response earlier than later. Here's a rapid response to use the next time a coach argues the foul count.
8 fouls to 5? Are you kidding me? They're hacking every trip down. You gotta even this up. That's ridiculous.
When a coach says, "Ref, the foul count is 7-1, they're trying to leverage the numbers on the scoreboard to influence the crew. So here's a response you can give a coach. "Hey coach, we're very aware of the time, the score, and the foul count, and that's the last time we're gonna discuss the numbers on the scoreboard. Do you have a specific question about a play?" That last line, "Do you have a question about a play?" is a courtesy, and that's something I'll only offer if the coach is speaking respectfully. If they're being demanding and forceful, I'm delivering the message of sportsmanship and I'm moving on. Here's why this works. Attempting to influence an official's decision based on the foul count is unsporting behavior and can be called a technical foul. Here's how I think about rapid responses. When a coach starts talking a foul count, they're basically driving down the road towards a technical foul. Our job is to get on that road early. So think of yourself as the toll booth. We're communicating to the coach that if you continue down this road and try to cross the bridge, it's going to cost you and your team. Most coaches will stop right there because now they know exactly where the road leads. The purpose of a rapid response is to set those respectful standards, to protect the game, and to give the coach a clear choice before things escalate. Make sure you use this next time you run into this foul count situation. Deliver it firmly and let this rapid response do the heavy lifting for you. Quick question. Have you enjoyed the podcast? Maybe you found value in the video clips. Maybe you like the feedback I give officials after games. Have you ever thought, I would like to get that feedback in a one-to-one setting? Well, that option is available. Inside Crown Refs, we offer a one-to-one tier on Patreon. And with this membership, you and I meet on Zoom every month to do a deep dive into your film, breaking down your mechanics, your communication, your confidence, everything that helps you improve both on and off the court. You also get 4 pieces of Crown Refs merch sent to you over the course of a year. You get access to all our group training sessions on Zoom and full access to our Discord channels and our entire library on Patreon. You also get access to our annual camp and so much more. If you're serious about your growth and want direct feedback, direct mentorship, and accountability, I'd love to work with you. Check out the Patreon 1-to-1 tier or any other membership level at patreon.com/crownrefs. Have a confident presence, a good posture, calm, got real New York there. Everything's calm. Sorry, I work in the Bronx. Hey, I just want you to know I'm here. If you have any questions at all about officiating both on and off the court, I'm available to chat. If you've had any challenging situation, you need clarity. If there's a play you want feedback on, if you're working through a tough game, a difficult coach, a non-trustworthy partner, or a moment you're unsure about, reach out. This is a community that exists to support officials, and I'm committed to being part of that support. You can email me directly at crownrefs@gmail.com or message me on whatever social platform you're on. I always respond. I don't believe in leaving people on red. I just want to say I hope you're having the best season possible. Keep serving the game to the best of your ability and be okay with those results. Here's a response to use the next time a coach disrespects or criticizes your partner. I know you've heard that one before. One common tactic coaches use to divide the crew is this. They compliment one official while criticizing the other. That compliment can disarm the official just enough to make that moment awkward and sometimes prevent the hard but necessary conversation from happening. Here's a rapid response to use the next time a coach criticizes your crewmate. Shut that down immediately. Coach, with all due respect, I would never criticize your assistant coaches or make negative comments about them. Please have the same respect for me and my crew. Is that fair? This response will work 100% of the time, and here's why. It protects the crew. You immediately remove any separation and make it clear. This is us, not individuals. We're a team. It also flips the standard back to respect. You're not attacking the coach. You're holding them to the same professional expectation that they would want for their staff and that they want for us. It stops the tactic cold by addressing it directly and calmly. You eliminate the leverage created by the compliment and regain control of the interaction. Once again, the key here is delivery, calm tone, normal volume, confident posture. So the next time a coach tries to divide the crew, don't hesitate. Use this rapid response and keep your crew united. Use this rapid response the next time a coach shouts at you from across the court. Say this, Coach, we're very approachable if you have a question at the right time, but we're not going to tolerate shouting across the court at us because we would never shout across the court at you. All we're asking is for two-way respect. Can you work with us here? That line works because it does 3 important things. First, it sets the communication standard for the rest of the game. You're not debating the call, you're defining how the conversations will happen moving forward. Second, it defends the crew, not just yourself. It shows unity and protects your partner and presents a consistent front. Third, it keeps the message respectful while still being firm. You're approachable, but you're not permissive. The key is delivery, having a calm voice and steady posture. Direct eye contact as well. Most of the time, this response is going to shut down any cross-court shouting immediately and brings communication back to the right place at the right time. So the next time this happens, don't improvise, use the rapid response system and let it do the heavy lifting for you. Here's a reminder to stay respectful with the players, even when they're being disrespectful to you or the game. I recently saw a situation where a player was arguing a call and an official responded by saying, "Shut your mouth." Now the player immediately reacted and said, "I'm not even effing talking to you." Another official then stepped in and heard that and issued a technical foul. And that was the correct decision because we can't ignore profanity or unsporting behavior from the players, regardless how the interaction started. That being said, this entire situation could have been prevented. A more respectful response from the first official, one that didn't escalate the moment, likely would have stopped the situation from spiraling. Instead, the tone invited a reaction, which forced the crew into enforcement mode. This is a bigger lesson. Don't allow frustration to pull you out of your character. When officials respond emotionally, we give away control. I shared this with one of my officials recently. Don't let any part of the game make you angry or upset. And I'll take it one step further. If there's a lot of things that are making you angry off the court, there's a good chance that it's showing up on the court too. These two are connected. Here's the truth. You cannot control the game if you're not in control of your emotions. First, I want to say this clearly. Your fear is valid. Officiating is challenging, where negativity is directed at you from parents, players, coaches, the crowd, even other officials. And the responsibility you carry yourself as an official is real. So the fact that you're thinking deeply about this doesn't mean you're weak. It means you care. The more you build belief in yourself, the less power that outside noise has. Confidence comes from within, from preparation, from perspective, from knowing who you are. And perspective matters. This is a game, a beautiful one, a challenging one, and sometimes a loud one. But it's an opportunity to grow and lead and to serve something bigger than yourself. When you appreciate life beyond the game, criticism inside the game starts to lose its grip. And here's the most important part. You wouldn't be doing this alone. There is a brotherhood and sisterhood of officials all over the world who support each other, learn from each other, and grow together. Communities like Crown Refs exist for this exact reason. And we need more talented, thoughtful, and passionate people like you in officiating. People who understand the game, people who care about doing it the right way. So don't let fear be the reason you never try. Lean into preparation, lean into community, lean into belief. We're here to support you, and we'd be honored to have you join the profession. If Crown Refs has brought you value, whether it's helped your confidence, your signals, your communication, your game management, I'd truly be honored to have you join our community. Inside Crown Refs on Patreon and our Discord, you'll find 500 plus dedicated officials committed to getting better through film, training, discussion, and support. If you're serious about your growth and want to be surrounded by people who care about the craft, this community is for you. Join us at patreon.com/crownrefs to start your free trial today. You got something? Let's go. In the chat.
If I'm pronouncing it right, we have Caradad in here.
Caradad?
New ref here.
Mm-hmm.
Called a foul in a continuous motion, and the coach complained to my signer.
Oh, great. Well, number one, don't worry when coaches complain to your assigner. Don't get scared or fearful behind that. Hopefully your signer has your back and are going to stand behind you there.
Just wondering, is that a bad call for calling?
Well, I have to see the play in order to determine if it was a correct or incorrect call. However, continuous motion, we've actually added a little bit more emphasis in the NFHS game this year. So basically, we're going to hold the whistle a little bit longer and allow more plays to continue. This is going to create more shooting fouls. So anytime a coach questions you, that's why I always say have a rule-based explanation. You having the knowledge of the continuous motion rule and then putting that or building that into your response to the coach is the best way to respond when a coach questions you. Rule-based explanations. I'm just giving value today, bro. This is like charity work. Because officials really need this content I'm talking about with how to respond to coaches because you can't find it anywhere else. And it's one of the hardest parts of officiating. Like, I'll go work a game today at 5 o'clock, and I'm going to have to manage one of the coaches for either shouting at me, saying something disrespectful or unsporting, something he would never say during his 9-to-5 job, which he's probably a teacher. He would never say that inside the school building during 9-to-3 hours. So I built this whole system, this rapid responses is like an official's playbook on how to, effectively game manage and deal with any coach. Because there's some hard ones.
I'm about to use this on my non-left.
Or maybe you'll become an official and join Crown Refs.
If I become an official, I'm definitely joining Crown.
I appreciate that.
Thank you for listening to the Crown Refs podcast. Serve the game.
Hey officials, thank you so much for being a part of Crown Refs. I'm grateful that you're here. It would mean the absolute world to me if you could join our Patreon community. You can go to patreon.com/crownrefs to choose your membership. I can't wait to have you on the team. I'm excited because we're officially launching the first ever Crown Refs Skill Development Camp happening May 1st through May 3rd, 2026 in Fort Wayne, Indiana. That's right, we're coming to the Hoosier State. This camp is designed for varsity level officials who are hungry for more clarity, more confidence, and stronger direction in their officiating journey. We're intentionally limiting the experience to 64 officials. It's a focused, immersive environment built for meaningful growth. This camp's gonna feature on-court feedback and instruction, presentations, different training sessions. We're gonna focus heavily on the skills that truly separate officials as they move up. Communication, leadership, accountability, preparation, emotional control, court presence. These are traits that earn trust, open doors, and sustain long careers, not just in officiating, but in life. This camp is open to high school officials aspiring to work college, also officials aspiring to work the pro game, international officials, NCAA men's, NCAA women's. All you need is varsity experience and genuine commitment to grow. What makes this camp special is the community behind it. Crown Refs started as a podcast, it grew into a community, and now it becomes an in-person experience where mentorship, relationship, and shared values come to life. If you're serious about growing, not just as an official, but as a professional and a person, I'd be honored to have you there. Fort Wayne, Indiana, May 1st through May 3rd, Crown Refs Skill Development Camp. I can't wait to meet you there.